Hello. Welcome to another episode of Tea with Taylor, everyone. Today is a special episode. You should know from the music playing in the background who it is. If you don't know, now you know, because I'm having my really good friend, Jacqueline Nilsson, join me today to talk about feminism. Who better than her? So Jacqueline, I'm going to have you come on in. With Gaga in the background, of course.
Hey.
Okay, I know we did this, but we're going to do it again.
I know, right?
I love how you smell good. I love it.
Like I said, it's usually weed and Mugler.
Yes! Weed and Mugler. You heard
it's my
it
own
here.
special blend.
OMG. I just recently found that my soul's scent was the Nikki perfume with the hair with the bob.
That, yeah.
I was like, I smelled it at Macy's. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold it.
When you know.
I was like, oh man, this is my new guilty pleasure perfume. Perfume.
No, seriously,
what did he say?
It just came up in my Sephora packet like a free sample. Like I'm not that
No,
rich.
listen.
But I will use that fully.
Listen, I got a coupon. I got a coupon. Okay, let me just tell you.
Obviously, we love coupons. I love a coupon.
Okay, well, so before we get into hot topics and we get a little too far into the show, why don't you introduce yourself as if they don't know who you are, what you do, and your pronouns.
So I am Jacqueline, or Jackie, as most of you know me, or Auntie, as a lot of you know me.
Oh, yes, the Auntie of Providence.
Pronouns are she, her, hers.
She doesn't already had hers.
I am, well, you know, all the herses. And I am a member of the Providence queer community. I'm a big supporter in nightlife.
Yes, you
and just general, all-around friend. So
yes, and lest we forget your profession with the eye care.
And yes, and I do dabble in a little opticianry. So you might have seen some of my work walking around on beautiful faces in Providence.
Beautiful faces, yes.
Yes. So if anybody has any optical questions,
you have one fun pair, and I was like, I see you.
I have way more than one fun pair.
But there was one that I remember that was out of the box.
The one you really liked was the black and white pair.
Yeah, of course it's the black and white.
Yeah, so
that's my thing.
You can see that upon request. I'll show you later.
But anyways, alright. So we're here today to talk about feminism. We're gonna get down to it. We're gonna explain that. We're gonna have a fun game of one has to go. But before we do that, cheers to us. Happy Friday.
Oh, happy Friday.
Do you know what it is because you were watching?
No, actually I wasn't.
Okay, last week we had...
I should learn to pay attention.
Last week we had whiskey screwdrivers, and you were the first one, I think, to ginger it.
Yeah, I did ginger
So
it.
we got whiskey screwdrivers.
Oh, I love that.
Yep, here you go.
Alright.
Happy Friday, and all that.
Okay.
Moving on.
It's different than the vodka screwdriver. I'm just going to put that out there.
It's different. I was like, I kind of like it, I kind of hate it, but it's fine.
It'll get us through.
So first, hot topics. We didn't talk about this last week, and I'm sure Christy, love you to death, but I'm sure Christy wouldn't have had much to say about this one. I don't know. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm watching in the comments, guys. The Grammys just happened.
The Grammys just had, yeah. we were nominated, but we weren't at the Grammys this year.
No, you're right.
And if you know me at all, you know I am speaking for the House of Gaga. We were not, because we are filming. But...
you know what? What is she filming?
Oh, you don't know?
I don't think I know.
Y'all know, right?
Oh, what's Gaga filming?
She's going to be the next Harley Quinn.
Oh, yes! Oh, yes!
It's actually happening. So it started, and there's actually, if you look at her Instagram. The
That's
first
funny.
pic just came out the other
Funny, I think last time you were on T, we talked about that.
We may have. That was in the very early stages of an idea.
I think we might have, yeah.
I love it when it comes full circle.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay,
Yep.
cool. Great. Love that. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot that happened at the Grammys, apparently. It was a lot. I was like, down to the performances and the red carpet was a little... I was disappointed with the red carpet, not gonna lie. I don't really watch...
Why? Because Beyonce wasn't on it?
Don't get me started with Beyonce,
Man,
please.
we'll talk about Beyonce.
Oh gosh, I know. We will
because she
talk
gets
about
there when
Beyonce.
she feels like
She
it. She can, and I'm not saying nothing.
No, I mean it's Beyonce. I don't know. I was slightly disappointed with the looks this year. They weren't like giving. I don't know. What do you think?
I agree.
Was there anything that like stood out to you as far as like the looks?
I mean, yeah, but not in a positive. Like, I'm just gonna say it. I really, 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 really hated the Harry Styles look.
Oh
I
God,
really hated it.
That was awful.
They
I'm
look
sorry.
like a pot holder that I made.
If you guys thought that was good, like please, I'm sorry. But I'm gonna be extremely biased right now, and that was awful.
And I just did not see the Freddie Mercury in it. I don't care how many times you're gonna say it, and if you want to send me pictures, y'all and prove me wrong.
Yeah,
do it.
The fit with the fit
tag
was,
Taylor in it.
No, the fit was not good. It just didn't look good. It didn't do anything.
People were like gagged, and I'm like,
yeah.
Can you shower before you come here?
Yeah, it wasn't anything. And like, not for nothing, not to speak against the queen, but like hers was her look was just like very.
She could do what she wants.
Yeah, it was much.
Well,
it was just like, okay, let me put on something cute and shiny.
Actually, we could talk about the night before when her and Jay threw that party, because that was looks on looks on.
See, I didn't see that. And you're gonna have to show me. Yeah, you're gonna have to show me later. And Lizzo, I like
Brown shutters.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, if Calypso's watching, sheesh, I'm sorry. Hi Tia.
Hi Tia.
But the Lizzo look that like there were very mixed reactions for what she had on.
I'm
there.
here
If you
for
guys
Lizzo.
didn't see it, it was like a flower number,
Yep.
like over her head. And it was cute.
I think that she's stunning.
It was giving Vogue. It was giving fashion.
It was camp.
I was into it.
Let's go camp.
Tia said hi, babies. Aw, thanks, T.
Yay.
But yeah, no, I was into it. I was into the things that most people wear, which is kind of my thing, I guess.
Gotcha.
Trademark. But then there was the Sam Smith performance, which got a lot of mixed reviews as well.
Yep.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
I think that performance ate. Like, I'm gonna be like really transparent. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the actual song.
Okay.
Like, it's kind of an earworm for me.
Yeah.
Burrows. And I'm like, okay, but
yeah.
Are you kidding?
But
are you joking?
Yeah.
And Kim Petras.
Kim Petras deserved it. She won. Yes, Kim Petras deserved it. I'm a fan of the song. I'm not necessarily a fan of the new direction that his music has taken, though. They, yes, you're right. Their music has taken. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not like I'm into it, but I want a little more vocal going on. Like how Beyonce, when Beyonce did Renaissance and when she did Lemonade. It was good, but there was a lot of like talking and rapping and
it was very heavily story.
I'm like, they're like
where you're waiting for Love on Top.
They're like they're like one of the best vocalists in the game. Like I just want something a little more singy. I don't know. I don't know how to verb.
I'm not very well versed in Sam Smith's music.
Oh,
so I
live for Sam Smith's music.
Really weigh in too much on.
But they're like one of the best voices in the industry, and I just really want more singing. I'm like, it's cute. Like it's a great breakout album, but like you're not a breakout artist. Like you've been around for
but look at even somebody like Gaga, who's gone through so many different genres and like whatever. And as an artist, you want to stay relevant. Not even relevant, but you want to stay active. Like you want to stay interested in what you're doing. Maybe they don't want to do the same shit.
Exactly, and I'm like, cute. I live for it. It's a cute little pop moment.
And who knows? Their next album might be completely different.
Different. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm waiting for. Love you, Sam Smith. We're we're waiting. We're waiting. And congrats, because this album is apparently doing well. So congrats.
Absolutely.
Who am I? What do you want? So something else that stood out for me this week that we could talk about, and this is a little into our generation too. Because we're seasoned. But the Barney remake, the Barney relaunch. I knew that was gonna be your reaction. If you guys don't know, Barney just got relaunched. Mattel.
Oh, she's snatched now.
Yes.
She's snatched.
No, Mattel announced on Monday, I think it was, that they're relaunching it, and they're gonna have the new Barney image attached to a few toys and products. Mm-hmm. What do you think? How you feeling?
Okay, so first of all, thank you for including me in your generation, because that's lovely.
You know what? Work.
Okay.
Work.
All I'm gonna say, when I was in college, the day after all the finals ended, we literally had a Barney bashing day. So the college, it must be unnamed, but if you go to my profile, you can see where I went to college. And they actually bought all these Barney stuffed animals and then toys of like destruction and execution, and the students were encouraged to rip apart and get their, you know.
Why do I feel like I remember this?
I mean, this was a long time.
Silence. I feel like I remember this. Anywho's continue.
Anyway, so I don't know if it was like a thing, but it was a thing at my college. So that's like everybody says Barney. I'm like, really?
That's the first thing you think of.
It's like, yeah, my dog just got a new toy and we're gonna rip the squeaker out.
Oh,
it's very that. But cheers to Barney, and I hope that Barney is able to redeem their image.
I guess Barney looked like.
But
Barney
they're gonna bring
done.
everything back, whether it's creepy or not.
It's baby Barney, y'all.
They're gonna. We fucked up on Barney. Let's try.
So for real, let's just throw it back and see what happens.
They're not wrong. They really messed up on. They did Barney dirty.
They're fishing.
They are.
And it's weird. Like looking at it, I was like, am I on a trip right now? Because this is messing with my childhood.
It is. I mean, but we used to watch. Have the kids watch Teletubbies and the Wiggles and all sorts of
the Wiggles is insane.
It's so trippy. Even way back when, and I will not say the names of these shows because you won't have heard of them, and then I'm going to out myself at my age. But let's just say my parents were hippies. Okay, some of those kid shows were
odd.
Really?
Odd. I'm gonna say odd to be nice because
outside the box.
Yeah.
It's forward thinking.
We love forward thinking. Yes, T. A lot of the ones now I just can't get with either. So I mean, hopefully Barney works well with the new generation because a lot of the new generation animation I can't get with anyway. So
yeah, I mean, it must be speaking to them. I mean, they're not gonna just do it with no research.
I'm
not again.
Got the cheek surgery and listen, Barney is snatched. Tia said Big Comfy Couch was my jam. Yes, Tia. Come on, Big Comfy Couch. That was my jam.
I love that.
Memory unlocked. Moving on a little bit. There was also something that stood out to me this week. The newest member of the Chinese police department. The Chinese police department is actually going to be trained drug sniffing squirrels. Okay. Did you hear about this?
I heard some buzz about squirrels, but I'm going to be honest. I didn't really delve into what the squirrel story was about.
Yep.
So
trained squirrels that will be able to sniff out drugs, and they'll be able to scale walls and things like that of that nature, and scope out certain scenes before the police arrive.
Okay, if I give the squirrel a sock, is it free?
I don't know.
I apologize for that reference.
I saw this on BBC News, and
That's
I was
terrible.
I can't ignore this.
Let the squirrels go free.
Odd, and I didn't know.
Trying to make narc squirrels.
I did it right. I didn't know you could train squirrels. To be honest, but I mean,
but apparently, I've never been there. But I guess illicit substances they don't mess around. It's a very serious thing.
Apparently not. I mean, there's parts of the
I mean, if you gotta bring squirrels,
right? Why are we bringing the squirrels into this? There's parts of the Middle East, and there's parts of where else were they doing it? I know it was the Middle East that they were trying this thing where they're legalizing a certain amount of you're allowed to have a certain amount of these illegal substances on you as a effort to combat people overdosing, and it's actually it's been kind of doing well-ish.
Wow.
So it might
That's
be
very
yeah. I was like, ooh, in parts of Europe. parts of Europe are also doing that, where they're legalizing having a certain amount of like illicit substances, because they're trying to combat people overdosing. Because if you have over a certain amount, then you'll be arrested. But if you only have whatever is perceived as legal, then you won't overdose, and they'll have less of those.
Right.
Like taking it out of the shadows. So I think it's a good idea. I mean,
if it's working.
It's
a good first step. I'm not going to say that it's the solution.
No, it's not the solution, but it's work. I think it works a little bit. Oh, and Cyber Chase, Tia said, Tia, you are giving away your age, not the Cyber Chase. I forgot about Cyber Chase.
Oh my gosh. Still not talking my language, though. I'm so sorry.
So speaking of the, if it's working, also this week I found out that there's this talk of male contraceptive. Did you see that? Mm-mm. Also BBC News, if you're wondering. You guys can check.
I've been sleeping on the BBC.
You know what? I follow them, and I also watch it sometimes on TV.
I used to listen to them a lot when I drove a lot, but now I don't.
They always have like things like out like that I won't hear on a repeat on the US news.
Right.
So I like switch between the two, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
But they still won't give those girls prize money on Drag Race.
I know,
BBC.
seriously. Come on. That's facts. Like, they get repeater badges and whatnot. Ain't nobody got time for that. But the male contraceptives should be available by April. So we'll see. It's still in an experimental stage, so to speak. It has been somewhat finalized apparently because they're announcing it. I think Pfizer may have had something to do with that.
I mean, I don't know that I'd be comfortable being a test subject for that. Like,
no, you're like, I'm good. Like, I got a male contraceptive.
Well, because I remember when the female condom was going to be an idea, and that was not.
No, I don't know anyone who would No.
Bad idea.
It was. Thank you for that, whoever, but no.
I mean, that was, in the height of, like, an HIV epidemic.
True.
So, like, people were, but, like...
The wheels
you
are
get
going.
a male and a female condom, like, nobody's going anywhere.
No one's going anywhere. Stop it. The visual is terrible.
It's halting.
Thank you. That's
welcome.
You're burned into my psyche now. You're all welcome for that. Yeah. I'm gonna post that on Tea with Taylor Instagram later. Don't worry.
I can't wait for that. Okay.
So unfortunately, we have to get into some of the harder stuff that this week has brought.
I really can't believe you're not going to bring up the Super Bowl really, really fast.
Oh my God, you're right.
I mean, props to Rihanna and congratulations.
Congrats to Rihanna.
I don't care if you made $5 or $5 million. Like, right. Queen, you did the thing. And, like, that's all we
Did you like the performance?
I did like the performance.
I liked the performance.
I like the fact that she came out there. She's able to do her own thing on her own terms.
Right.
She knows she don't need to do the
right. And like people were expecting.
But also, brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant.
The mix was brilliant. The mix to like the way she put those songs together, or whoever put those songs together. I thought that was masterful.
Absolutely.
She didn't do too much, but she gave enough. The choreo helped a lot. I think she was on point with the choreo
helped.
And the staging.
Yeah.
But like it was on point. I thought it was on point. You can't ask a pregnant woman, first of all, to do too much.
Literally.
Even when, and God forbid we bring it back here, even when Beyonce did her pregnancy reveal, she did a little less.
She did.
Than what we normally expect from Beyonce.
When she was in the chair, she let the dancers do the work.
That was not Super Bowl. That was insane. When she did the lean back in the chair, that was insane. I was like, oh my gosh, she's like 7 months pregnant.
She was very pregnant.
She was very pregnant.
Yeah.
But, when she did the Super Bowl performance, when she ripped the blazer back,
oh, you're right.
It was good, but she gave a little bit less than the normal Beyonce
As
would.
she should.
And it was great. I don't know. I feel like people are being a little hard on Riri.
Like, no, we stand you, Riri.
We stand Riri.
Congratulations.
Anyways, I was like, oh, how
sorry, I wasn't gonna let
I forgot. No, thank you, Jackie.
I studied.
No, thank you, Jackie. I forgot about that. It was just like so much hype behind it that I was like, let me not talk about that yet. I'm just getting to the Grammys, y'all. You gotta bear with me.
Sorry, I gotta be the one.
I'll
talk about it every time.
She's the
Get ready, we're gonna talk about it.
She is the definition of an entrepreneur. I've always got something. I've always got something going on. Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm. I love
adding that to the Instagram. But moving on to some of the harder stuff that we had to go on this week. This one's really, really, really big. And you definitely heard about this. The toxic chemical release that's happening in Ohio. For the viewers who don't know, for anyone who doesn't know, thank you for watching, Ivan. I see you. But for you who don't know, there's been a toxic chemical release in East Palestine, Ohio. It was a train crash, and I believe, from last I heard, which was yesterday, it was 3 out of the 10 cars were carrying toxic material.
That's what I heard.
That it was carrying hazardous material. Sorry. And it burned for 3 days.
3 days.
If you guys don't, if you guys know this story, feel free to comment in the comment section and let me know how you feel about that. But it has been labeled as the most extreme environmental disaster in the last decade or so. Mm-hmm. And it's been wreaking havoc in this area.
Well, and I mean, that's that's middle America. That's farmland. That's
and
there's all sorts of alerts out there. People saying check where your food comes from, and
I've always been big on that.
Those poor people,
always.
I mean, also let's make sure that big measures are being taken to deal with this and clean it up. How many years later, Flint, Michigan still doesn't have good water?
Seriously,
how many?
How long have we forgotten about Flint, Michigan?
Hello. So sorry.
And it's really a big deal because the people in Ohio are complaining, saying that it's nothing being done to an extreme point. Where for something to be labeled as an extreme environmental disaster, there hasn't been much aid. There hasn't been much being done with the government, and I'm appalled. There's been acid rain. There's been let me see. There's been contaminated water, and it's how do you live in that?
Oh, I'm surprised they didn't evacuate.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And
but if the government comes in and evacuates you, then it's on their dime to relocate you.
And that's why they're not.
Yeah.
And it's really insane to see. I'm like, what?
It's
and
sad.
it just, the story keeps developing and it keeps getting
Because I don't know about you, but if somebody says to me tomorrow, oh, it's raining fire outside, so you could either stay or you could go.
Seriously.
But you gotta pay for all of that, girl. We're not helping you at all. I wouldn't be in a position to do that.
I wouldn't be in a position.
I would probably pile my dog and my shit in my car and maybe go to my parents' house, which is far enough away, and I'm lucky that it is.
Right. I don't think people have very many options, and then the citizens of this area have been complaining, and I feel like it's falling on deaf ears. It's scary a little bit.
It is scary. I feel really bad for
I'm like, whoever is watching from Ohio or anyone who knows anyone in Ohio, sending love and blessings your way, but that is just insane that it's literally raining acid.
Yeah.
What's going on?
They need to grant those people asylum in other places.
What's happening?
Set them up.
Can we, maybe do a little something?
Female, where are you?
What's going on? I don't understand. Anyways, I just really sat. It didn't sit right with me. I was like, are we just, letting them crash and burn? Or what's the plan here?
Good luck.
Okay,
but also, even on a selfish note, they're in the middle. All these other, it's not like they're on the end where you could be bye.
They're not Florida, okay? We can't just
you could chisel that off and get rid of that problem.
It's crazy. And then we have this mania with the UFO sightings. Yeah.
Love a UFO sighting.
My God, I live for a UFO sighting. I'm glad you said that.
I do, honestly. I'm here for that. I'm come at me.
But there's been a sighting off the coast of Hawaii. There's been a few other sightings, and I think there's been 3 or 4.
I'm not sure.
Sightings of...
But I know I've heard about it in my
unidentified flying objects in U.S. airspace. There was one that was identified from China.
Yeah.
It's just been insanity going on in this world, and this
then also that stuff could be a diversion.
It is 100% a diversion. I posted about this on the TV.
So again, we're over here in China training squirrels, but look
over there. There's 4 UFO sightings in a week. What?
No big deal.
What? And you know what? Not for nothing. I posted about this on the TV channel on Instagram, and they are so tactful with media. The way that they produce events and things to distract you from what is actually happening, it's insanity. So I beg of you to pay attention, please. That's why I like to make sure I bring light to the good stuff throughout the week as well as the not so good stuff. Because we got to know, we got to hear about it. And like a lot of times, it's intentional.
Really, if your audience is going like, oh, I didn't know that happened on one of your topics, you're doing your job.
I'm doing something right. Exactly. And it's tactful and it's definitely on purpose. So we got to make sure we're staying, and I hate this term, I hate it to death, but we got to make sure we're staying woke.
Sometimes it's just no other way.
There's no other way of saying it. And lastly, one of the last ones, I got two more of our hot topics. Lastly, for all my Hispanic and black and brown folks who use this, Fabuloso has had a huge recall. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah. Fabuloso had a huge recall. So they recalled nearly 5 million bottles due to a bacterial contamination. So if you use...
girl, I got that under my sink.
Right.
Damn.
So I think it was anything produced within November of 2020 up until now. If you have that Fabuloso and that is when it was produced, best sell by date, get rid of it. Please don't use it. Be safe. Better safe than sorry. It is a very popular cleaning product. I would make sure, check the dates on those. Because it was recalled over 5 million for a bacterial contamination. So
yikes!
That's a little scary because we think these all-purpose cleaners and disinfectants are all one and the same, but they are not. So if you use Fabuloso, be careful.
Also, I'm really shook that there's a sell-by date on Fabuloso. Even that there's even an expiration date because I'm a little person and I live in a small apartment by myself. I don't make that much of a mess. So my bottle will last me. I think this is the third house I've brought this bottle.
That's insane. And even more so, I mix mine with water and then I put it in the Swiffer.
That's strong.
In my Swiffer mop, so it lasts even longer. But
you're right. We gotta let it go.
Well, we gotta make sure we're being safe. So make sure you check your bottles of Fabuloso, please. So today we're talking about feminism. We're gonna get into that, but my last hot topic kind of runs right into it. So I'm gonna let you run with this one. It's an unfortunate and interesting fact that I came across. And the CDC actually reported this. The CDC actually said that they found that 57% of teenage girls in 2023 have reported feeling sad or hopeless in 2021 up until 2022. And it's been the highest amount of percentage in a decade. In over a decade, 11 years I believe it was. And so I think that is kind of a testament to the times and to kind of the state of the world, so to speak. And I really wanted to kind of start our conversation there, but also kind of see how you felt about that statistic, because that kind of hit me a little hard, and I'm not even a woman. So I do consider myself a feminist in all the sense of the words, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
So 57% of teenage girls.
Well, I mean,
hopeless.
First of all, I'm going to tell you, anyone who has ever been a teenage girl knows what this feeling is like. And I do have questions. I want to know how many non-female girls were also, I want to know what the test subject was. I want to know what you're basing it against.
Yeah.
So what is the not female percentage of people that feel the same way?
That would be really interesting to know.
I really would.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna bring it up,
no, that would be really interesting.
Just want to know what the other percentage of people.
If you guys feel comfortable enough to let me know in the comments, let me know how you feel about that. Do you think it's a large percentage of also non-females that feel that way? Because obviously we're all living in the same state of the world, essentially.
Right.
And so if 57% of teenage girls feel that way, then what about the teenage boys?
Well, exactly. Or what about the people that, because teenagers are finding themselves sooner than always.
Exactly.
What about the non-binary kids,
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
But I'm going to also just give you a really maybe unique perspective on this. And I'm going to weirdly take a negative and try to turn it positive. Okay. So I will tell you, out of my group of girlfriends when I was a teenager, and let's say I had 5 of them, I'm going to tell you, 4 out of 5 of us were freaking miserable.
Yeah, that's wow.
Okay, which is a higher percentage than what you just gave.
That's insane. That's a lot.
But I'm going to tell you why I speculate this percentage is higher than ever.
It's also the CDC, so you know how many people actually respond to the CDC. Not many.
But when I was a teenage girl, it was very much don't talk about it. It was very much don't express how you feel. Like, deal with it. All you got to do is last long enough to get yourself married.
Right.
Fine.
Right.
Be charming enough to get you. You'd save her for the bus. You could talk to your girlfriends about it, but we don't really need to know about it.
Right.
And I feel like the younger people now have given themselves permission
to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you have more people that feel comfortable coming forward saying, yeah, this freaking sucks and I hate life, like, that it's just, you know, you're talking about a fact, a percentage on a piece of paper, and you can't boil that human experience.
Right. And I think that's what it is, too. A lot more people are coming forth with the idea. Like,
and kudos to those people, because that's a hard thing to overcome when you have everybody in your generation after generation saying, no, don't talk about it.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to hear about it. Okay, you can talk about it, but not to me. Like, that kind of thing.
And I like, again, I applaud, like you said, I applaud people who are actually coming out and talking about it, because it's been a thing for a long time that people just feel taboo to speak about. And I feel like we're all living this experience, but like, you never know what someone's individual experience is.
Absolutely.
Until you know. And so for me to see that, like 60% essentially of people, of teenage females are like feeling hopeless.
Yep.
Not just sad.
Right.
Not just upset. Not a bad day, but hopeless.
You know, when you're also talking about people that are in this age bracket that are this post-COVID. No, I don't mean to say it. Trigger word.
Oh, trigger warning.
For the media.
Seriously,
like, I'm not worried about the people. I'm worried about the...
Yikes.
But, you know, in that kind of aftermath of the peak of everything that happened, like, a lot of those kids, like, school's a huge experience. And to have that at a halt and have your development kind of halt as a result of that's hard, and you should be mad about it. You should be able to feel things about it, and be able to talk about the way you feel about it.
And not for nothing, as that in that age, and I think it transitions when you get older. Yeah. But at that age, you spend more time in school than you do at home.
Absolutely.
And then when you get older, it kind of turns into you spend more time at work than you do at home.
Right.
So I feel like for a lot of like teenagers, it's also a big part of like their schooling life too, and their friend base, and
again, that's why I'd like to see a slice out of a different demographic, whether it's gender or it's age or it's like whatever it is. Because like I will tell you how many adults I feel this way, and I'm sure a lot of y'all feel this way. Like it was horrible not being able to go out and do things and connect with people I love, and like it might seem trivial or petty to some people, but it affects you.
It does. Oh no, it absolutely affects you.
Yeah.
And we'd be lying to say that we don't feel the effects of that, because when we had that shutdown, child,
that was hard.
Listen, people have to be with themselves.
Y'all.
Listen.
My friends were coming to my house and standing across the street just so I could see them. I'm like, hey.
Listen, when you have to be alone with yourself, you got to come to terms with some stuff. So
it was hard.
It was difficult.
But anyway.
Yeah, it was a moment, let's just say. But, so, I like to pose a question to the viewers as well as to my guests, as you know. So I'm going to start real generic and real broad sense of the word. You guys feel free to share in the comments as well. And I just wanted to kind of get your idea on what do you define feminism as? Like, how would you Webster it? How would you judge it?
Yeah. Well, it depends. Jujul brings up all sorts of
Jujul brings up a lot about feminism, because when I did it for my research, then as you know, I like to do a little bit of research, I'm not going into this blind. But my definition of what feminism is and what Jujul said, whoa.
And it's so I think it's hard to define, and I think it really just, for me, all boils down to basic human rights. That's what it is, okay? So I want to be clear in what I'm saying, because, and I had a talk with a very good friend about this very recently in preparation. Yeah,
love that.
So,
love that.
I got to toss my thoughts around a little bit. So,
that's what we're here for.
Again, I wanted to be very clear that it does not matter what your gender is. You can be a feminist. It does not matter what your sexual preference is. It's none of my business. And you could be a feminist.
Exactly.
Okay?
T.
You could be anybody and be a feminist. And please be everybody and be a feminist.
And be everyone and a feminist. Yes.
Okay.
100.
What I like, one thing that I really wanted to stress in this conversation today, and Taylor knows, and a lot of you know, like I'm very, 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 very passionate about this, is that we're not going to pigeonhole a definition.
Right.
Okay? We're going to talk about people that believe in respecting other humans and believe in equality.
Absolutely.
And there's so many different umbrellas to feminism, just like there is, you know, with queer rights, or there is with, you know, POC rights, and like there's a lot of different facets, and we're not even going to be able to remotely touch on everything.
Absolutely not.
But like it needs to be a welcoming conversation, because I feel like a lot of people still hold that stigma that when you hear this word feminist,
you've seen it here,
then we're talking about, you know, she-devil man-haters.
And that, exactly. And,
or TERFs.
That's also something I want to get into, too. But
and it's really, really not that, okay? A true feminist does not stand for hate.
No.
And they
in any shape or form.
In any shape or form.
Exactly.
And we do not hate men, and we do not hate people that don't identify with gender, and we don't hate people that are different than us. We just want to be treated the same.
Exactly. And for me, that's the definition that I would go with as myself. Because I would consider myself a feminist. And I think the definition for me is anyone who advocates for human rights.
Right.
And I think when we talk about feminism, the thing that differentiates that from activism, which we talked about on TV Channel this season with Ivan, but I think what differentiates that obviously is the emphasis on gender, of course. Right. But anyone, like you said, anyone can be a feminist.
Absolutely.
And it really takes everyone to be a feminist for the feminist movement as a whole to be successful or to be effective. And I really want to stress that point. It takes everyone for any movement to be effective. But most importantly, one of the top two, I would say, underneath black and brown people rights in that movement is feminism.
I agree.
If it wasn't for queer females and transgender people, the queer rights movement would have suffered
absolutely
immensely. And I really
you talk about your pride when you're up there celebrating. Okay, it was trans women and it was lesbians.
Exactly, that's who led the fight.
Absolutely.
And I 100% agree with you with that. A lot of nerve. Thank you for watching. I love you, baby. A lot of said, Jackie, are you going out tonight? Of course, Jackie's working the door.
I'm working at Dark Lady tonight.
She's working Dark Lady, and I'm performing. So come out, Lada. I love you. Anyways, no one needs to know about me and Lada's secret love affair.
So secret.
So secret. Oh my god. But yeah, no. I think that it takes everyone to be a part of that movement for it to be effective.
I agree.
Because if you have, oh god, not the Gaga quote. If you have 100 people in a room,
there's 100 feminists in the room.
That's all I can think of just now. I'm sorry. I just blacked out and Gaga can't
I'm
drink.
contractually obligated to drink every time.
Actually, you are. This is true. I forgot about that.
Cheers.
That's like the third time we mentioned Gaga tonight, too. Anyways, so yeah, I think that what differentiates feminism, obviously, is the focus on gender.
Yes.
But it does not mean that it is a pre-qualifying factor for you to be a feminist. Something that we don't talk about as often either as part of feminism, which kind of started the movement, is the oppression of women or female-presenting peoples. And that's something I kind of want to get your point of view on, too. Like, as a female presenting person, as a queer female presenting person, how does that affect you daily?
Oh, thank you for saying I'm queer presenting.
A queer female presenting.
I know,
that's
a hard one.
I mean, listen.
So, okay, I'll give you an example to kind of touch on that.
Yes.
Okay, so I remember when I came to Rhode Island and I had moved here. I was living in Connecticut. And my job ended, and so I had to find a new job. And I'm like, oh, I hate her. I want to move. So I moved, right? But I'm like looking online, and I'm like heavily on Indeed, which does in fact ask you your gender.
It does not, actually.
It does.
It does.
If you register for the profile and go through all of that, it's not mandatory, it's optional, but it will ask you.
It will ask, yes. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so I did my own little study where I put in my actual, because I am a cis female, like, you know, whatever, and I put that in. I really wasn't finding a lot of what I liked. So, like, I just shot in the dark, went and changed my gender preference. You want to talk about how many more listings there were? Shook, right?
Seriously?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
there were
insane.
more listings. The rates of pay were higher. And that's why I'm speculating, because I'm speculating. I am not saying this about this site as fact. But it seemed to me the correlation was the search had to do with the rate of pay, gender correlation.
Indeed, count your days. Count your mother flipping days, indeed. We're coming for you. No, but like that's and also,
now I just use it for recruiter. But.
That's also something that is not talked about. The gender.
So there's
the gap pay.
I've had a very long career as an optician.
Mm-hmm.
And I have worked for big corporations, and I have worked for little tiny private businesses. Mm-hmm. And I am very, 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 very fortunate that where I work now is a small business. It is a woman-owned small business.
Work.
And we have a 100% female staff.
Work.
That works well together and goes to great lengths to uplift each other and do right by our patients. And we're very well respected in that. Right? So but it took me 20-something years of working to get there.
I see.
So I have swallowed the crow. I have listened to the comments.
I haven't heard that term in a while. Swallowed the crow.
What
oh my
you say?
gosh.
What, eat crow?
I haven't heard that in so long. Continue.
I need to stop talking. I'm showing my age. But so it takes a long time to get there. And now that I'm a seasoned professional, I can write my own ticket a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But when I have young female proteges coming to me saying, well, do you think I should do this? Or, you need to find your own path. But these are the things that if you're going to lead by my example, don't compromise on those things.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, we need to raise strong professional women.
Absolutely. I think that's a really big part of it, too, because if we didn't start talking about the gender gap pay, it would have still continued. And honestly, until till current day, like you said, even certain job opportunities, not as so much the pay that I've noticed, at least in my point of view, but the opportunities and the roles of certain jobs have been lessened for female presenting persons.
I agree.
Or cisgender females.
And I remember when I first started in the workforce, they were still allowed to ask you questions like, are you in a relationship? Are you planning on getting pregnant in the next year?
Yes, I remember that. Are you planning on having a child or getting pregnant? Yes!
Are you serious? No, but I'm not planning on working here regardless. So go ask the next girl.
That was a thing, and I remember that because it was so generic to the point that even for a male who was filling out an application, it was still there. Mm-hmm. I was like, wait, are you guys really asking women if they're planning on being pregnant?
They really, really were.
And that was bizarre to me. And now it's not a thing.
And I had been in conversations with hiring people. That she's a really good candidate, but
however,
she's going to go out in 6 months, and then we're going to have to pay for that, and
they calculate that. It's
absolutely
it's a cold world, and
I'm sure it still happens. It's just illegal now.
They just don't talk about it. Right. Even when and something that stood out to me as a black and brown person was the bias against natural hairstyles. I was like, are you serious? I watched a few documentaries about it, and there was one that caught certain management in certain places talking about it, how they were less likely and a little less respectful to people with natural hairstyles. Mm-hmm. And it was just are you kidding?
Meanwhile, I could walk up in the professional gig with pink ass hair and have a better chance than a lady that is walking around with these braids that she paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
And it is so well kept and beautiful.
And beautiful.
But
you're gonna hire the schmo instead. Which
I was shooketh when I realized that natural hairstyles are still discriminated against in the workforce, especially natural hairstyles with women.
Yeah.
Because more so men can get away with an afro or can get away with cornrows and braids and things of that nature.
For some reason that reads more masculine and more normal to those folks.
And it's, again, something in the workforce that should be examined.
Absolutely.
I don't get that how we in 2023 can still say that this is unacceptable in the workforce when this is happening with a different gender, but it's okay.
Right.
What?
it make sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just us. I don't know. You guys let me know.
I don't think it's just us, but maybe.
I don't know. I'm like, because I don't think that's okay. It don't even sound right. But that kind of leads me into the next thing I wanted to ask you. So, like, what do you think as far as the feminist movement as a social organization? How do you think that ties in with all the other social movements?
Right. Well, I think that's one that's really hard. And like when you're talking about, there used to be this old joke, like gays and lesbians don't associate in the wild. that kind of, right?
Yeah.
So, like the girls kept to the girls and the boys kept to the boys. And that was
it was like that for a while. I'm not even gonna hold you.
I actually thank God for the movement of younger people that are literally taking gender and going,
fuck.
Like, because it's so great. Like, can we all just be like queer, marginalized people and hang out together?
Seriously, seriously.
Like that's the thing that I don't understand about a lot of the social stuff, because you have the folks that still really feel they want to segregate it, and then you have the folks that really want to like integrate it, and like you know me, I am a very big presence in nightlife in this city in particular. Like, I like to go out. Let's just say, I like to go out.
And we're not mad about it.
and but like I could still be in a club and overhear somebody that is not necessarily of my gender get very pressed that me and my gender happen to be in this particular space.
We can have a whole another episode planned about talking about that, about the biases in nightlife, and when you work in nightlife, that comes with a whole different set.
You get a little bit of a different perspective.
Oh my goodness! Like literally, it is so ridiculous. Christy said she loves us both.
Hey, bestie.
I love you too, Christy. We were talking about you earlier.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
When I post it after this, if anyone is just catching it later on, I'll post this to YouTube afterwards, and you can catch that. You on the website and etc. But yeah, I think that it also is a really big connection with the Black and Brown community too.
Absolutely.
And I'm really happy with how it's intertwined with the BLM movement.
Absolutely.
And so to speak with that, especially like I said, attacking the workforce and their biases when it comes to natural hairstyles and when it comes to Black and Brown folk and experience. Because that is a catch-22 that I've been like writing about non-stop. I don't understand the catch-22 of, hey, we need you to have 10 years of experience, but we're not going to hire you
until you have experience.
Like,
no experience.
What goes on? I just so many things. But like,
also, I do want to also shout out the inclusion of the trans community.
Absolutely. When
it comes to feminism, because the 100%. Trans community is, they are feminists 1,000%. Trans women, trans men, like, everybody knows and gets how it feels to like be purposely made to feel different and be purposely treated differently.
Unfortunately, we do.
We do. And again, these are the things that make them stronger, make us stronger. So like, do I consider trans women to be feminists? Yeah, they're freaking women. Like, it's not even a question mark. Do I consider trans men to be feminists? Absolutely, if they want to be.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
And like, it's just.
The umbrella's pretty big.
Yes, it's just something that we need to come to terms with. And like I said, it takes all of us to be feminists for that to be effective. I mean,
there's only one section of the population that I really find combative, and that is the TERF population. I really... Do you want to touch on that? I don't know if you want to touch on that later.
You can touch on that. You can touch on that, child. Like, listen, this platform that I have... that I have built, this platform that I have, thank God, and I'm so grateful for all of you. This platform that I have, I want to do two things. I want to give back to the community, and I want to highlight everyone else's platform. So if you feel comfortable enough to express how you feel about TERFs, then you do so. I
mean, I feel a responsibility to talk about it.
Talk about it.
Okay, because just because you are a female doesn't mean you are necessarily a feminist, and I know that like sounds so backwards. Okay?
No, but it's true. No,
and the biggest thing that folks right now are going to associate with TERFs is, unfortunately, J.K. Rowling.
Yeah. Why was I thinking that?
I'm really going to talk about it.
Oh my God, I was thinking that when you said it.
It breaks my heart. But I'm going to tell you right now, there are people that that are, and if you don't know what the acronym stands for, it's Trans Exclusionary Radical Females. Which, in my research, if you take the E part out of that, it kind of started as a positive movement. So there were very radical feminists when you're talking about the 60s in particular, the 70s in particular.
That's funny, I didn't even think of it that way.
Okay, when you talk about like your Gloria Steinem type of people, they were very, and I think that's where a lot of the man-hating kind of feelings come from. Because they were very, 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 very aggressive. I wouldn't call them TERFs, but I would call them very, very aggressive.
And sometimes it takes aggression to get your point across.
They were very exclusionary as far as gender goes. Right. So if you were not a female, the trans thing maybe wasn't on the table quite yet. It wasn't really well known. It was I really wasn't alive back then, so
it was hush hush. It was hush hush.
It was right, but it was very like anti-men based, and I feel like that movement over time has morphed into this TERF movement, where you have people like J.K. Rowling that spew this absolute garbage out of their mouth,
like unashamed and
unabashedly, like nana boo boo about it, right? And like, you're gonna buy my stuff and I'm gonna make your money, and what you think doesn't
matter to me. Like, that's what she said. That's basically what you think doesn't matter to me. This is what I feel, and this is all that matters.
Right.
Like, and I was like, first of all, not even just like, that's disgusting to say.
It is
but
disgusting,
like how,
but particularly when you have a platform like that, it turns very quickly from disgusting to malicious.
How malicious and how vain.
She came out with actual merch.
Like, what the fuck is happening?
Anti-trans merch.
How, like, vain do you have to be to think, I'm going to 100% attack this group of people who already have been attacked and come against by the masses, and still expect people to support and buy my word?
Those people are not true feminists. Like, those people are elitists. Those people are definitely transphobic. But very elitist, and it's talking about they want to protect the rights of people that they feel are like them.
That they feel deserve to be protected.
People that they feel are like them. People that they are aligned with. So
and that's no.
So I just wanted to be very clear that true feminists are not TERFs. TERFs are not true feminists.
I'm glad you said that. You know what? I'm glad you said that. Thank you for bringing that to light.
Yeah.
Something that the TERF movement is. I don't like to give fuel to the negative.
Right.
So it's not something that I talk about often, but it really came to light when someone that I like as a creator, as a comedian, as a person, Dave Chappelle, talked about being a TERF. It was hard because it was
in my. He was in a movie with Gaga.
It was right in my face, and I'm like, this is someone that I had liked, that I respected as an artist. So it kind of became a huge, like, wake up call, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Like, damn, I have to.
But not only that, so you watch what Dave Chappelle said, and then you can watch the way that people around you react to that.
Chrissy said, "Go, best friend. Take them to church." Yes. You know what?
I'll pull the car right up.
I'm taking you to church tonight, Christy. I hope you're a dark lady, because we taking it to church, child. I got a church mix. It's a church mega.
Y'all are not ready.
It's a mega mix, okay? Anyways,
put your best Sunday on.
Hello, Sunday's best, child. But before we get too far into that, I just wanted to end it there, kind of, with our conversation, so we can get into our game.
Sure.
But it's really important that we not only pay attention to the movements that suit us, but also the ones that don't.
Right.
And that's really where it comes into to play with the TERF movement, because I don't like for me personally, I don't like to give fuel to the negative things, but you do have to be aware. And you do have to be conscious of
talk about it.
What is happening and what they're doing.
And you don't have to talk about it all the time.
No, not all the time.
You know.
But
I just want to thank everybody that watched and that listened, and that, like, if anybody wants to talk and has questions, or like even a healthy debate, like I'm the one.
Absolutely.
So like, feel free to let me know.
And I'm always down for a healthy debate. I live for a healthy debate, child.
Absolutely. So, but thank you everybody for, like,
of course, Yeah, and I hope that with the show, of course, I always hope that, you know, if I can reach just one person, even just one person, with the message that we're trying to get across, or even educate just one person, then we're doing something right.
Absolutely.
And so I appreciate everyone who's watching, and I'm grateful, and I hope that, you know, you guys take something away from this conversation today, and that you all know that you have the capability of being a feminist.
Absolutely.
Like, that's bare minimum what we want to get across today. At least I think that's where we're at.
Oh yeah, like I'm recruiting, like actively recruiting 2 more, and I get the super bonus prize.
Like,
so.
For real, you
Let
have.
me sponsor you.
Listen, if you have been on the T, what, 3 times now?
This is my 3rd time.
This is the 3rd time. I live. Listen, welcome. Listen, we love Jackie.
Yeah,
here.
I'm alum.
We love the auntie of Providence. Okay. But I thank you for having that conversation with me and for sharing as much as you do.
Me.
No, honestly, like, I always have a good time. You always tell it like it is. The auntie of Providence, like
That's
I said.
it, girl.
You always tell it like it is.
That's only 1 glass of wine in. Catch me on glass 4.
Listen, okay? Some may call me the dad of Providence, but catch me on wine glass number 3, and it's
honey.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta talk about it.
Chill. I be talking. But okay, so we're gonna end it there.
Also, catch us both tonight at Dark Lady if you want to talk about it.
We're gonna be there. And we both are down for a healthy debate. So listen, let me know. Later in the season, I have church trauma, as you know, coming up, and that's coming from very 2 different perspectives.
Wait, who are your guests for that?
Oh, I can't tell you yet.
Oh,
it's a secret. I'll tell you when we're done.
Okay.
But
I can just go in the chat.
It's coming from 2 different perspectives.
I love that.
I can't wait.
Oh, that's gonna be a talk.
As a gay black Christian. Ciao.
Girl, I was confirmed Roman Catholic. I'll tune in for that. I got stuff to say.
Wait. Oh my god, this is gonna be great. So we got One Has to Go, y'all. I'm gonna give you back your Friday night, I promise. And then I gotta get ready. I gotta get adorned.
Oh yeah.
I gotta get adorned in my best tribal gear.
I gotta go let my dog out, so that's what I gotta do. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he's fine.
For real. But we're gonna play One Has to Go. Are you guys ready? I think you're ready. I hope you're ready. Calypso, if you're watching, I know you love the games. We're getting ready to do it. Just a little disclaimer so they get time to join in. But we're going to play One Has to Go. One Has to Go, I tried to theme it a little bit mostly female this time. So
we love a good theme.
So it's difficult. But for those who don't know, One Has to Go is a game where you describe or announce 3 to 4 different things. And you have to choose which one you would axe from existence. Yes! You gotta yeet one of them. So if I were to say pancake, waffles, and French toast.
Oh, French toast, yeet.
Really?
Oh yeah, bye girl.
That's upsetting. That hurts my soul a little bit.
Really? You want me? Okay, waffles we don't even talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, anyway, but we're gonna talk about it. It's mostly female themed this week, so we're gonna get into it. Y'all ready? Let's go. And you feel free. Christy said pancakes. Work. Thank you, Christy.
Really, you would eat pancakes?
Work. No, Christy said pancakes and go.
Oh,
work.
Yeah.
That was my answer.
Mm-mm.
French toast and waffles. Waffles
Christy?
are hearty. I live for waffles. I love to put some butter in the ridges and French toast. Oh.
No, I can't do it.
It's so rich. I can't. I just can't. Anyways, we're coming out hard with the first one. So One Has to Go. You ready?
Okay.
We're coming out hard. That's why.
Do it.
Beyonce, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, or Taylor Swift.
Katy Perry.
Boots.
Out.
Damn.
Fast. Go.
I thought that. I knew you weren't going to get rid of Gaga, but damn.
Also, I love Beyonce. Also, I'm going to see Beyonce.
Yes,
I'm going with the Browns
the selected
to see Beyonce,
few.
so that's like a double concert.
That is
for me.
a double concert. The selected few. Oh, Christy said Katy Perry too. Boots. I mean, I don't like Katy Perry's music.
Sorry, Katy.
I don't like her music that much. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
I like her as a person though.
She's cute. I don't need her.
I would get rid of Taylor Swift though, because no thank you. I'm all set.
Okay, the white girl in me kind of likes Taylor Swift. And I'm not going to apologize.
Don't apologize. I'm all set with Taylor Swift though. I'm all set. I liked Our Song Was a Slamming Screen Door, Sneaking Out.
Oh, you
I live for that Taylor. But this bitch, I wanna be bad. But I'm like, no. I'm all set.
Oh, Reputation was one of my favorites.
I'm all set. I'm all set. It would be Taylor for me with that one.
Got
it. This one. Okay, ready? This is girl group Mania. Cheetah Girls, Blackpink, 3LW, or Spice Girls.
Okay, go back to the second one.
Okay, Cheetah Girls, Blackpink,
okay,
3LW, or Spice Girls.
3LW.
3LW? And all of the people in it?
I'm emotionally attached to everybody else.
Oh!
Yeah.
I can't get rid of Adrienne Bailon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but like Blackpink did a song with Gaga.
I was gonna say Blackpink.
No,
I would have to get rid of Blackpink.
It's Sour Candy.
I mean...
I can't get rid of Sour
Candy. But
Candy.
you know Gaga would have came to a Sour Candy era.
Contract.
I just can't...
Part of NDA, do you not get it?
I don't know. I was gonna go with Blackpink. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think about that. Between Cheetah Girls, Blackpink, 3LW, and Spice Girls.
Also, Cheetah Girls, like... They're Cheetah Girls.
But I could never get rid of...
Spice Girls is like...
But I could never get rid of Raven. We live for Miss Raven Simone.
I mean...
And it is Simone, in fact. It is Simone, in fact, because we've been saying her name wrong, apparently. But, I don't know. Oh my god, Christy said Cheetah Girls! I can't get rid of Adrienne, and I can't get rid of Raven.
Literally!
So I have to go with Blackpink, because I'm not emotionally attached to anyone in that group. They have some really good hits.
It's the Gaga thing.
But I don't know. Okay, so you said 3LW.
Yeah.
Okay, work. Alright, next one. This is the second to last one. The last one's gonna be real hard, trust me. Oof. Okay, this is the second to last one. Y'all ready? Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, Diana Ross, or Anita Baker. These are the old school girls, child. These are all the aunties, child. Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, Diana Ross, or Anita Baker. These are the hard hitters, child.
I'm so sorry, but I gotta say Anita Baker.
Caught up in the rapture. How?
I'm so sad. No. It hurts me.
Sweet love.
How? You wrote the question.
Oh my god, no.
Ouch. Why? What's your answer?
Chrissy said, no, this is a trick. She said,
literally, this is a trap.
I would have to go with Diana, unfortunately.
And during Black History Month, how dare you?
I would have to go with Diana. Because, don't get me wrong, Diana is iconic, and I live for Diana Ross. But the only song that I can think of outside of her acting roles, which is what I love her for, her acting roles, don't get me wrong. But outside of her acting roles, her music, the only thing I can think of that stood out to me was I'm Coming Out and Inside Out. Upside down, you turn me.
Okay. Ain't no mountain high enough. Really?
But like Tina Turner did better.
All the Supreme songs.
I don't know. I don't know.
And then Beyonce wouldn't have been able to do that movie.
Robert Kelly said Whitney Houston. Robert, I love you to death.
That's definitely not
but
the answer.
How could you get rid of Whitney? Oh no.
I'm aghast.
I can't get rid of Whitney. No, that's just I can't do that.
That is an unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion. You know, Robert, you are unique. And I applaud you for that.
I mean, it's very brave.
I begrudgingly chose Diana Ross because I live for Diana. But out of these girls, I can't get rid of Anita. I can't get rid of Aretha. Absolutely not. And I cannot 100% get rid of Whitney.
Whitney was
I can't even think of getting rid of Whitney.
No.
Wow. Okay. Well, love you still.
Different strokes for different folks.
Right. All right. And that is the definition of feminism, true.
It is.
The last one, and this one I think is going to be a little difficult too. This is the last one. One has to go. Oh, Luna. Thank you for joining, Luna.
Hi,
I miss you, Luna. We need to connect. I was just thinking about you a few weeks ago, and when God puts someone on my mind, it's not for no reason. So, Luna, let's connect.
That's my baby.
I live for Luna.
That's my baby.
But, lastly, one has to go. Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, Black Widow, or Scarlet Witch?
What kind of question?
One more
Feminism episode. Well, we know I can't say Harley Quinn because Gaga.
One more time for y'all. One has to go. Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, Black Widow, or Scarlet Witch. Christy said Harley Quinn. And Kelly said Wonder Woman. Those are the the two that I was like, I'm not gonna get rid of them.
So have you lost your mind?
Oh my god, I was gonna say my answer would be Black Widow. Because all she does is kick. I'm over her. Whatever. Bye, Black Widow. Like, enough. Oh, she's a good fighter. Great. But, like, I'm all set with Black Widow. Like,
I would probably say Black Widow also.
But, like, what? Kelly?
Harley Quinn is not even on the table.
Wonder Woman, Kelly?
Wonder Woman is a classic.
What?
She's a staple.
What? I can't. Robert Kelly said Black Widow as well.
I would stand that. I would.
Christy said, I have whiskey and opinions.
Christy Walker, we're going to talk about it later.
You know what?
We'll talk about it later.
Speaking of whiskey, we got one more shot now. I can't even believe that you would get rid of Harley Quinn.
Nope. Like, as Gaga is filming
is
to
about
play her,
to be her
right now.
That's insane.
We're going to talk about it. That's a hate
love
crime.
you to death.
Hate crime.
But, like, also, wow. Okay, so my answer again was Black Widow. What was yours? Black Widow, right? Like, she's a human one in the Avengers. She's the only one that's a human.
She's stunning.
She's gorgeous and she's a great fighter, but that's it.
Right.
She's out there in the battlefield kicking when people have fucking powers and abilities that precede human ability. So I don't know how she's still even relevant as far as the DC universe, but whatever, it's okay, it's fine. You guys are entitled to your opinions.
To your wrong opinion. I mean, your opinions.
Oh, my sister's watching. Jalisa, hi, sister, I love you. Thank you for watching. Chrissy said, it was the orange juice mixed with the whiskey, it ruined me. Well, here you go, it's round 2. Salute to you guys. Why was that one stronger?
Second one was stronger.
Why was that stronger?
Woo.
Goodness gracious.
Woo.
I mean, I guess it's because I didn't shake the shaker. Maybe that's why.
Probably.
Anyways. Alright, well, that's going to bring us to the end of the show. And thank you all for watching. Thank you all for keeping up with Tea with Taylor so on all the socials. If you didn't catch this episode, we're going to make sure to post this to YouTube later. And you can catch it on tinyurl.com/Taylor Neptune, which is the site for Tea with Taylor. So feel free to visit that. What do you want to leave our viewers with today, Jackie? What do you want to promote or leave our viewers with today? Because I love to give everyone an opportunity to kind of...
Well, I mean, there's just so much fun stuff that's going on in the city right now. So, like, first of all, come down and see us at the Dark Lady tonight. Hours from now. I will be there to greet you at the door, so please come and say hi.
Awesome.
Also, just don't forget, like, any place you go in the city, like, welcome all people. We're equal opportunity. Just great things happen. Shout out to the stable. Shout out to Ego. Their back patio is
open again. We can smoke our marijuana in peace.
Shout out to Alley Cat and Dark Lady and the Eagle and like all the places.
All of the local places.
To Mirabar, to Alchemy, who is doing great stuff in the drag community right now. Like everybody's turning up. So come out and support.
And there's another one. Where where the Savages are doing their Askew.
No, they're doing it Alchemy. It was going to be at Askew, but that wasn't big enough.
Well, shout out to Askew because I went to a Imperial Court event at Askew, and their stage is great, and they're very welcoming. So shout out to Askew as well in Providence.
Absolutely, shout out.
So we're looking forward
everybody
to that.
down there on that side of town.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the Gaber.
Yeah, it's part of it. It is very.
Come out and say hi anytime. Come out, catch me. Taylor's everywhere.
Literally everywhere. It's disgusting. Yes. But before we go, I wanted to make sure to say, be good to yourselves. As I like to always say, be good to yourselves. Make sure you're looking inward for all of life's solutions before looking outward, but also look outward because sometimes you have to take in your environment. Thank you all for joining us. You can catch me, Taylor Neptune, at Taylor Neptune on all the socials. Thank you for catching up and following. I will be back next Friday, God willing. But again, catch us tonight at Dark Lady in Providence if you're local. I will be performing and Jackie will be at the door. So you get double dose of us. Thank you so much for watching and you guys enjoy your Friday night. We out. We out of here. Let's go. Let's go.